curious how or why it's important to drain your water heater? Stick around as we get into that and the question of the day. What's going on, guys? Matt in the hat, Matt Johnson Real Estate, powered by Keller Williams Diamond Partners. You are tuned in to the Hot List. I come to you on Monday through Friday around 12 o'clock Central Standard Time, Monday through Friday, and we hang out and talk real estate. We talk properties new to the market with recent price reductions or something unique about the property that I want to share with y'all and want y'all to know. I also answer a question of the day that is submitted by a listener of the podcast. And to find out how you can get your question answered, just stick around and I will be glad to answer that for you. Finally, I recognize and thank a sponsor of the week each and every single week. And if you are a business owner, entrepreneur, want to know what you can do to become a sponsor of the week and be featured on the hot list, then just stick around for a few and I will get that over to you. So thank you guys for tuning in. As those that were watching could see, struggling with a little camera issue early on, but we got it all going now and we're good. So the property that we are talking about today is 1027 Constitution Street, right here in Emporia. It's a 5-bedroom, 2-bath house. It's a 2-story, close to Emporia State University, also close to the downtown area. Currently listed for $89,000, courtesy of EC Real Estate. So this is unique because of the location that it's in. Like I said, very close to the university here, as well as the downtown Emporia area. So it's going to be walking distance from so many things, which is a huge benefit. It's also got updated paint throughout the house, updated carpet. You've got central heat, central air, laundry on the main level, and it's also got a covered porch along with an unfinished basement. So if you guys have any questions, all you got to do is just click on the link in the description. That's going to take you right to the website so you can see the property for yourself. And if you have any questions, all you got to do is let me know or just drop it in the comments. I will be happy to reach back out to you. If you are a pre-approved buyer interested in the property, whether you are a first-time home buyer or investor, reach out to me as well. And if you're not working with an agent, I will get that scheduled for you. Before I get to the question of the day, I do want to recognize and thank our sponsor of the week this week, and that is Neenan Company right here in Emporia. Just a reminder, they are a wholesale plumbing supply company. They carry all kinds of products as well as tools. They have pipes, they have fittings, for the pipes, they offer copper, PEX, PVC. They have sump pumps, they have recirculating pumps, they have water softeners. They even carry kitchen disposals as well. So not sure what size you need or how those will really work, then all you got to do is just stop by the store and talk to them. The address here in Emporia is 811 Graham Street, so it's on the west end of town, or you can call them directly, 620-343-7861. If you are interested in being a sponsor of the week, supporting the hot list and getting some airtime, all you got to do is shoot me a message, drop me a comment wherever you're listening to this. We'll have a further in-depth conversation to see if you're still interested in what it takes to become a sponsor of the week and be recognized on the hot list. Which brings us to my favorite portion of the show, and that is the question of the day. The question of the day is submitted by a listener of the podcast. Each and every single day, Monday through Friday, I answer your questions. I not only answer them for you, in turn, I use those for content as well to continually do videos like this and not only educate myself in some situations, but also continue to educate y'all as well. And I thought this week, with having Neenan Company as a sponsor of the week, good time to answer some questions that I've been getting around their products or services especially. Now, we talked a couple episodes ago about water heaters, styles, types, options. So the question of the day: how do I drain my water heater if I'm going to install a new one or replace it? So, sorry, I'm sure this question came from the earlier conversation that we had on Monday. And like I said, because of our sponsor this week, hang on, guys. Oh. Sneeze, it happens on live video sometimes. I thought this was a good time to answer this particular question because, it kind of goes along with what Neenan Company does. So, of all the things in modern civilization, and what it has brought us, for example, sliced bread, the spork, censored social media claiming they support free speech, hot water is definitely towards the top of that list. And it makes sense that you want to take care of your water heater and maintain it to help extend the life of it. Regular maintenance is one of the best things that you can do for your water heater, whether it's before you leave on vacation, if you own a rental home that's unoccupied. Draining the water heater is actually one of the easiest maintenance steps that you can do. So today we're going to talk about the 7 steps to drain your water heater. Before we get into that, let's talk about why you should drain your water heater. In any given area, no matter where you live, there's always going to be some type of random minerals in the water supply. Enough of these minerals grouped together turns into hard water. What that really means is there's a lot of minerals in suspension in the water. Over time, these minerals settle and end up at the bottom of the water heater. With enough time, they will build up a layer thick enough to actually interfere with the function of your water heater. Before you reach that point, hopefully, now it's time to do a maintenance flush and clean that system out a little bit. Now, how often you should do this does have a few factors into based on, the size of the water heater, how often it's used. But generally, the best rule of thumb is to flush it once every 6 to 12 months, whether it needs it or not. And this helps wash those particles away before they build up and become a problem. Like I just mentioned, the process itself is pretty simple. It's actually designed for people like me. Typically, the most difficult part is dealing with water that's going to be hot enough to scald you. So before you recommend grabbing some thick dishwashing gloves or heavy insulated gloves that are non-absorbent, because if you grab like cotton gloves, for example, it's just going to hold that scalding hot water against your skin. You're still going to burn yourself. So the seven steps to drain your water heater, pretty quick and simple. Number 1, turn the water heater off. If you've got an electric water heater, pretty simple. You just got to flip off the breaker. If you have a gas water heater, then you want to turn off the gas or set it to pilot. Number 2, you want to wait for the water to cool down a little bit. The longer that you give it to cool down, the safer it's going to be to drain your water heater. You can feel free to skip this step. I personally wouldn't recommend it because that shit's hot. Step number 3, turn off the cold water. Don't forget to do this step, because if you forget to do this step, it's kind of hard to drain your water heater that keeps filling up. I'm just saying. Step number 4, open some faucets. Pick 1 or 2 faucets that are going to be closest to the water heater. Turn the hot side on and leave it on until the water heater is done draining. This is not only going to speed up the process, this is also going to help prevent a vacuum from forming in any of the pipes. Step 5, when needed, attach a water hose. This generally screws on to there should be a brass fitting drain valve near the bottom of the unit. Just screw that hose on, and leads into step 6, which is pick a spot to dump the water. Just remember, there's going to be a ton of water coming out of this thing. You're talking 30, 40, 50 gallons of water that's going to be coming out. So choose wisely. Outdoors is always preferred best option, especially if it's away from the house. If not, you can run it over to your sump pit, floor drain, whatever works. I mean, if you don't have either one of those, I guess as a last resort, you could use buckets. And finally, step 7, open up the valve. This is the moment of truth. This is what you've been waiting for. Everything you've done leads up to this. So, open the valve. May need a screwdriver to do this, just depending on what type of valve that you have. And that water is going to start coming and flushing out. I would recommend, while you're doing this, run some water into a bucket. You know, doesn't have to be big, half gallon, gallon, whatever, 2 gallons, whatever you have, because this is going to tell you how much sediment is in the water. Keep flushing until when you check that bucket, the water runs clear. Then, of course, to put it all back together, all you got to do is do these steps in reverse. And that's it. So simple, a realtor could do it. Let me run through those steps for you one more time. So, 7 steps to drain your water heater. Number 1, turn off the water heater. Hopefully that's self-explanatory. Number 2, wait for it to cool down. Again, you don't have to do this, but the cooler the water, less chance you're going to burn yourself. Number 3, turn off the cold water, because you obviously can't empty a water heater that keeps filling up. Number 4, open faucets. Open faucets that are going to be closest to the water heater. Turn on the hot side, and this is going to speed up the draining process. Number 5 is attach a water hose, and these are going to be located typically at the bottom of the unit. Step 6, pick somewhere to dump it, whether it's outside, a sump pit, or floor drain. And number 7, open the valve. Check the water every so often by filling a bucket just to see how much sediment is in there. Keep flushing until the water runs clear. That's it. It's that simple. And those are the 7 steps on how to drain a water heater. So that's all I got for you guys today. Appreciate you guys watching and tuning in to the hot list. Again, I'm your host, Matt Johnson with Keller Williams Realty. I do this because your experience matters and should be trusted with a veteran. Y'all have a phenomenal day, and I'll see you here tomorrow. Take care.